Imagine someone who feels tormented by spirits. And this person sees them all the time. They see people around them, who are actually spirits, they hear voices, offenses, and feel more and more embarrassed because it's a very difficult situation. Imagine seeing something that nobody else does. To whom are you going to talk about it? You can't come and tell the person next to you, "Look, I see someone over there and they are offending me, talking to me, this or that." First, because you can be considered with schizophrenia, an emotional pathology that is not so simple. Then your condition is psychiatric, and it needs to be treated in a clinic. On the other hand, it can be a spiritual reality. And this spiritual reality won't be understood by people unless they're spiritists. Then, they can interpret the way they want, isn't that right? Because they can say, you have an obsession, you have a spiritual obsession. You've probably done something bad to that person and now they're chasing you. I'm just putting situations here. I met someone who was having a difficulty like that, some time ago. And it was very interesting. Even some people here from the Center for Consciousness Studies accompanied me. The mother of this person who was having this difficulty didn't know who else to turn to. She had already turned to psychiatrists, doctors, spiritist centers, Protestant sects or religions. She had been to every kind of church. She turned to me because she was in despair. I'm saying this not because I have the solution. I'm just sharing it for you to understand how is a situation like that. So, I was with this person, who had the so-called hallucinations or visions of spirits. He was a bit reluctant to talk to me. He even looked at me in a very defensive way. Then, I asked the team that was with me to leave so that I could talk to him for a bit. And we started first, to establish some communication or contact, which wasn't very simple because he had reservations. Who is this person coming here? What are they going to do for me? Nobody's been able to do anything. We started talking, first, very cautiously. I was also careful not to create a worse situation for him, an even more defensive situation. He told me the following. He said, "Look, I'm schizophrenic." I said, "Tell me a bit about your schizophrenia. Why did you think you were schizophrenic?" He said, "Because some people have told me that I'm schizophrenic." And he reported who had already told him he was schizophrenic. I said, "Okay, so tell me a little bit about what happens." He started reporting the offenses that the spirits, or those figures that he saw, insulted him all the time. It was swearing, aggression, attacks like punches and kicks. It was a complicated situation, and he had to cope with it. After telling me everything, I said to him, "Look, I think I am schizophrenic too." He asked, "Are you schizophrenic?" I said, "Yes, because I also see those things you're talking about. I see them, and sometimes talk to them. Depending on the situation, I talk. But, one thing is, if this is a hallucination, and now I'm talking to you, if this is an initial hallucination, then it's schizophrenia. But if this hallucination is a spiritual condition, if those consciousnesses really exist, it could be schizophrenia or a spiritual condition that has turned into schizophrenia. The person can't discover the truth, where schizophrenia begins, and where their spiritual perception begins. Talking to him, he said something like this: "What do you do with this?" I said, "Look, I take everything they tell me and I write it down." Then they don't have much of a way out. Or they work, and I turn our conversation. Even aggression, I turn it into work. And we put them all to work. And then he said, "But what if it's a hallucination?" I said, "The hallucination will also have to work. Then you can transform anything in your life into something very positive and happy." I see that human beings have the conditions and competence to deal with their own creations. Yes, we can. Even if there are disturbances, external consciousnesses, we can do a work that results in happiness, that results in a product we can be proud of. He said, "Then I think I'll do it." I said, "Do it, and we'll get in touch. But I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to send you all my work. This work is the recordings I make of my TV programs, radio programs, my lectures. I'll send it to you, you listen to it, and maybe you'll help me too, giving me ideas." And this person said, "Oh, good. I'm telling you this, and I know that for some situations we can't get real solutions, because the person has already reached such a difficult level, that for them to leave it, they need an auxiliary ego. In fact, the person needs much more than clarification and support. They need someone to walk the path with them, reorganizing everything they have been experiencing. This is fundamental. But, for you to do that, you need to have time, goodwill, and knowledge. If you're going to help someone, you will have to be very sincere about your intention to help the person. I believe that in the journey I've made in my life, I've made a path more related to being than to having. In the end, I've been working to be able to do the things I believe in, but I didn't work to have things that might have given more support to all of this. But you can do things for someone, to help them be able to be and also have the resources to continue their journey. This world is a physical world. And in the physical world, everything ends up converging: spirituality, the emotional, and the physical, which are relationships and everything else. Taking advantage of this moment is a good idea. If you can't, for example, deal with a pathology like this, you can't blame yourself. Because there's no way you can solve the issues that nobody can. To conclude, what I want to say is that we can't fool ourselves by looking for palliative solutions that appear as definitive solutions. Human beings usually do that. I'm talking about all of us, including myself. We want to find definitive solutions for things we have created in various reincarnations. What I think is that we can ease it a bit, and try, in this relief, to make a journey in which the person gradually frees themselves. This person I was talking about has been receiving all my material for more than 5 years. It was a way that I found to help. But if you ask me, "And are you helping?" Look, I think I'm making every effort to make him better, so that he continues, and one day, he'll be free from all the things he created himself. This is what I can do right now. I think that one day, I'll be more competent to help a bit more. I'm working on it. I think this is also the meaning of our lives, each one of us. You can find the address of our website and our social networks in the description of the video. Follow our work for more content related to spirituality and human behavior. See you soon.
Would you like to participate in a work of energy giving from afar that is benefiting thousands of people? Click on the link below for more information.